Was geht ab, liebe Leute? Hier ist Yannick. Ich habe heute ein Interview mit Charli Adams für euch. Charli Adams ist eine Alternative-Rock-Newcomerin, die momentan die ganze Szene mit ihrem Sound unsicher macht. Ich habe mit ihr über ihren Weg zur Kunst gesprochen, der sie zur Musikmetropole Nashville geführt hat. Außerdem haben wir noch über Justin Vernon von Bon Iver und über ihr Debütalbum Bullseye gesprochen. Und sie hat mir erzählt, was Justin Vernon mit dem Namen des Albums zu tun hat. Ich wünsche ganz viel Spaß beim Hören.
Who are you and what do you do for a living?
I'm Charli Adams and I'm a musician for a living.
You're about to release your debut album. I read a lot about it and I also listened to it and I really liked it. I really like the story of you leaving your hometown from Alabama to Nashville at first, I think. Paint me the picture. How was it hitting Nashville, being ready to be a musician and going out in the world?
Yeah, it was so wild. I mean, growing up in Alabama I know that Nashville is still the South, but it was still very much a culture shock. I wasn't in much of a musical environment. So I started traveling to Nashville when I was 16 and I fell in love with it. I met a music scene that was just unbelievable and felt super behind because these people had been like playing music since they were like 4 and 5. And, it's very intimidating, but also so inspiring and exciting. So at 17, I told my mom, I was like, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to come here by myself now. I'm going to do it by myself. And so I did. And so I've lived here actually in this house that I'm in since I was 17.
How did you first get in touch with the music scene over there?
Wild fate, probably. I just kind of, a few connections and then it spiraled from there. I just met someone at a movie theater, hit it off, and then went to a few shows and I just met a group of people that I felt really connected to that were very talented musicians, and then now they're like family to me.
It's beautiful. You're talking about people like Justin Vernon, for example, right?
My local Nashville scene was kind of a lot of DIY artists who are kind of on the rise now. So we were kind of all in it together. Smaller artists, we were playing very small venues, just kind of putting on DIY shows, like a few a month, and putting together the bills and doing it all ourselves. So Justin Vernon would have not fit in. He'd be too.
He would be a little bit too big.
Yeah,
I guess. But how come that he gave you the Bullseye name?
So I was at a bar in this little basement bar that's like a billiards bar that we play darts and billiards at. And I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. He just walked up and introduced himself. And we actually started talking about theology and God and naturally. And he asked if I wanted to play darts, and I love darts. And so we played, and my first 2 throws were bullseyes. And so he nicknamed me Bullseye. And he called me Bullseye all night. And so it just kind of stuck. And I just thought it was a dope nickname.
And how does the Bullseye term, how does it relate to your album?
It talks about kind of my most authentic self. At the time, I was kind of filtering myself online. I was afraid of judgment of people. And that's kind of what the album is about. And so I felt like my most authentic self was the one that was the person that Justin Vernon met at the bar, the one that my friends hang out with at the bar. That's like, all of your inhibitions are down, you're unfiltered, you're your full self. And I wanted to start to embody that more in my daily life and online and express who I really was. And so it felt like kind of like my alias for my truest self. So
I see. Bullseye is a cool nickname too.
Thank you. I think so too. It stuck.
Your song Cheer Captain is about your experiences as a people pleaser, from one people pleaser to another. How do we get out of this mess of behavior?
That is a wonderful question, and I have books on it that I'm still reading, trying to figure out. I think what has helped me the most is considering yourself as a person, because I think a lot of times, like, people pleasers kind of can, at least for me, I can have like a bit of a God complex or a savior complex, as if I I don't deserve what I'm trying to offer to other people. And so kind of putting yourself on the top tier of that, because I think you can actually be there for people when you're not spread thin and when you're paying attention to yourself and doing things that make you happy, including like saying no to people, because you're giving yourself space, kind of like, it sounds cliche, but filling up your glass in order to fill other people's glasses. If you have an empty glass, you can't. So that helped me a lot. And I think like also just realizing that people's opinions are simply their opinions, and it's not your job to make their opinion of you positive, because their opinion is a projection from their own self, you know? So kind of taking the weight out of what people think of you. That's been something I've been working on a lot.
You're so wise already.
Oh, thank you.
That's crazy, because me as a people pleaser, I'm not nowhere near that. I'm just realizing now that I'm kind of a people pleaser. So it's a process, but thanks for the tips.
Well, I mean, yeah, I had my 1-year anniversary of therapy last week, and she read me my goals and I achieved all of them. So I'm feeling good about the progress I've made. I'm telling you, it's a lot of therapy. It's very helpful.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Right, yeah.
And to achieving more goals. Speaking of goals, how are you feeling that your debut album is coming? Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. I mean, I've been obsessing over this since, over a year now. So it's been a long time coming. It was a very long release. So by now I'm just like, it feels like it should be out already. But I'm really excited. I mean, my 2 favorite songs on the album haven't been out yet, haven't been released as singles. So
which one are those?
The opening and the closing track, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I think that concludes the interview for me.
Oh, wow.
If you have anything else to say, if you want to say something to your German listeners, which I think there are a lot.
I would like to say thank you so much for listening, and I can't wait to visit and play music there. I've never been to Germany, so it's on the bucket list.
Yeah, come to Berlin and have lots of great food from all over the place.
That sounds wonderful. I'm dying to get out of here, and yeah, I can't wait.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll eat here together one day.
Wonderful.
Let's hope so. All right, Charli. Thanks for your time. Thanks for everything, and happy release day whenever it'll be out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a great day.